people now. Now I'm starting to see. See, last year, the narrative was Keyshawn Davis didn't want any smoke with Andy Cruz and things like that, right? Now, and then the narrative last year was that Frank Martin was ducking Shakur Stevenson. You see how fast the tables turn? These two of my favorite boxers in the game right now. And this is the reason why. Keyshawn, early in his career, coming off of a knockout win. And look at him now. I mean, a stoppage, and look at him now. Already in his career. Iron Teofimo already. I'm telling people, bro, it's a lot of fights that can happen, and it can expose a lot of people. That's why people try to put. That's why, if you haven't noticed, these boxing fans, they're scam artists. Let me tell you why. They try to put Keyshawn Davis and Frank Martin in the ring together. Have y'all forgot that? They try to put those two guys in the ring together, but you got all these other guys at 135. That's why I actually like Tank taking the fight of Frank Martin. I just don't like the way he went about taking the fight. As far as, oh, this guy ducking, this guy ducking. That's causing me trouble. Like, I don't care about how he feel about promoting that, bro. That be causing me trouble, bro. Like, that's too much. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I was saying, Frank Martin, he's always taking challenges. I told people last time he fought 2 top 10 135s. I'm looking around, I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, who else gonna fight a top 35? 2 top 10 35 135s, lightweights. I'm looking around, I'm like, well, okay, Tank fought Ryan Garcia, but he fought Hector Garcia. Okay, Hector Garcia's a 130. Frank Martin, he fought Michelle Rivera, then he fought Artem, which I felt like was a very difficult opponent. People talking about Frank Martin, he got exposed. He got exposed. People forgot that though. The last fight they talking about he got exposed. It was a lot of narratives they started around his name that I did not appreciate. That's why I put a lot of videos up early when I first started my channel. I backed off because I knew time would tell. I knew Frank Martin's next fight was going to be a home run. Guaranteed I knew it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And I'm glad he did it. It's exposing a lot of fans out here, bro. They run around with a lot of narratives. A lot of that ducking stuff, that word needs to get eliminated. Guys just don't want to fight somebody. That's what it is, and it's usually the top guy. Ain't no guy with no belt and no money. I ain't gonna say no money, but a guy with who's not a millionaire and doesn't have a belt, he gonna turn down a chance at a belt and some millions? Come on, man. Who y'all can get to believe that? We know it's a plan. But at the same time, though, we gotta give I see how fast everything changed around that, though. I told people Keyshawn Davis, he's a young guy, he's elite, though. Gonna be a threat in a minute. Now you look, people change the narrative on him. People change the narrative real fast. That's why I don't like to jump out there with the crowd on guys like Keyshawn and Frank Martin. I knew I wasn't gonna do that. I said, I'm not jumping out there in the crowd for a Keyshawn and Frank Martin fight. I said, I ain't doing that shit. Yeah, I said I ain't doing that. I went jumping around for a Keyshawn and Frank Martin fight. I wasn't finna jump around for something like that. Jimmy person. I didn't feel like that was a big fight. As far as at the time for Keyshawn and Frank Martin to fight right now with no build up, I don't think that's a big fight, honestly. Not right now. It's a big fight to me, but you gotta think about it. Fans were just saying how they were no good. So what is the narrative talking about? It's a big fight. They just said last year it wasn't a big fight. Frank Martin ain't fought since the last fight. And Keyshawn just had the Pedraza fight. And people wasn't really hyping it up like that. I thought it was a big fight before it happened. So the narrative people got right now is it's crazy. I don't know. The narrative I'm seeing now is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy what I'm seeing as far as the narrative everybody's pushing. But I feel like Frank Martin and Keyshawn is putting on a lot of different things right now. It's a lot of guys at 135 that's not really calling Keyshawn's name anymore. I made those videos. I said we're gonna call a guy on suspension. Guys are suspended, that's what we call them now. They came back from suspension, nobody said nothing else, right? Came back from suspension, nobody said anything. You see how fast that happened? These people know what the narrative is around certain fighters. They try to push. Him and Frank Martin was never ducking any smoke. They was trying to fight each other before they even got started as far as the fights now. It's funny how those guys trying to fight each other and everybody else like they trying to fight each other. Keyshawn Davis and Frank Martin. But everybody else kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna figure out at 135. So I know who really want to smoke. But Keyshawn and Frank Martin, they part of my alley team. They definitely part of the alley squad. Definitely. Them some guys who will fight anybody. Everybody else, I don't know. I'll probably have to figure it out. Everybody else, I ain't too sure about. Everybody else, I'm not too sure about. But I definitely see what's going on as far as the narrative switching. It's funny though. It's funny to me because a lot of people that was sitting up here saying, "Oh, this guy's pound for pound." I heard people saying Teofimo's pound for pound. I don't hear nobody saying it no more. Keyshawn call him out. I don't hear nobody talking about ducking or nothing like that. They ain't trying to make that fight. They are not trying to make that fight. They know that's a huge fight. Well, most of the fights, if you make with Keyshawn and Frank Martin with the top guys, it's a big fight. From what I see. But yeah, but the Shakur thing was kind of what threw me off because a lot of people was sitting up here saying he was turned down a fight with Shakur. He's not gonna find anything better. Hey, got a Tank Davis fight. He beat Tank Davis, he gonna be the man. He go 12, he gonna be the man. So, and some people lie. You see, Eastside Cruz won 12. You see what happened? He a household name, so I think people got a feeling what could happen. But I'm hearing a lot of people say Tank been out for a long time, and yeah, he has. You know what I'm saying? He has been out for a long time. But at the same time, what? Frank Martin fought what, last summer? So he's not too much ahead only by a little bit, but not too much. He's not too much ahead though. Only by a little bit though. He's not too much ahead though. Only by a little bit, but at the same time, that's a big fight. So a lot of these guys, they can put some stuff together. But we seeing now who the cream of the crop is. I heard people talk about certain fighters at 35 was better than Keyshawn and Devin, and I ain't hear many people mentioning Frank Martin's name, which was kind of shocking to me. They ain't really mention his name like that. As far as the top guy. Nah, I haven't heard, so. I haven't heard that they thought he was the top guy. I definitely haven't heard that. But I think he is on that level though. I definitely think he is. I think him and Keyshawn is elite fighters. But you know, these days people say you gotta sell a pay-per-view and do certain things to get up there. So I don't really believe in all that. I feel like you can be elite without doing all that. If you know what you're looking at. If you know what you're looking at, then you can do all that. But I don't believe in all that though. I feel like they'll be better off down the line, something like that would happen. But that's all I got though. Like and subscribe.